Welcome to TNT Sports Talk. Today is Tuesday, June 19th. As always, we're presented by D's Home Cuts. I'm your host, Travis Karcheski, joined by my other host, Truman Karcheski.
How's it going?
And we're welcomed back in studio today by Johnny Glad.
Happy to be here again.
He's coming in. This is his second time in here, and this is our third time?
Third time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, this is our 30th episode, so 30 episodes. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. But we're going to get right into it. We're going to start with some golf talk. Don't talk a lot about golf, but the U.S. Open was this weekend. A couple big storylines out of that tournament was the course was crap, according to everybody who played it. A lot of golfers were complaining that this was a terrible course. Brooks Koepka, the winner, what he shot, I think he shot on par or +1, one of the two. So you can tell it wasn't the best course this weekend. But I like watching golfers, kind of face a challenge. It shows, they're kind of like us, where they struggle with courses like this. Couple other storylines was Dustin Johnson, one of the leaders. He's one of the best golfers, and he was, 1 under, +1. So he played pretty well. He struggled with his putting like usual, but Tommy Fleetwood, I think he is one of the next big stars in golf. He shot a 63 on Sunday, which is tied for the course record. I would have liked to see him win, but sadly, Brooks Koepka played really well.
Second time?
Yeah, second back-to-back winners, which is pretty impressive. Johnny's a big golf guy. I know Truman's not much into golf, but we wanted to get his take on Phil Mickelson, which was probably the biggest story out of that weekend. If you don't know what happened, Phil Mickelson, I think he was shooting like 10 over. He was pretty much out of it. And he missed a putt. I forget what hole it was, and the putt just kept rolling. It was about to go down the hill, and he ran after it and stopped it and hit it back towards the hole. And a lot of people are really angry about this. Johnny, what's your take on it?
I mean, so I was working. I actually work at a golf course, and when it happened, I was just in the pro shop, and I just heard people talking about it. I just found it interesting, though. Like, everyone was just freaking out about it. And I, personally thought it was pretty funny and, entertaining. But, to most people, if you're, a golf purist, I guess you could say, you're probably not going to like it. I don't know. I thought it was funny, though. But, you shouldn't do that, though.
Yeah,
it's not right.
I don't think you should do it on a pro tour, but it's a lot of people want. He was just really frustrated. I get it, but it's a pro golfer. Probably shouldn't be doing that. But I thought it was pretty funny. But
I mean, I do it in mini golf. So.
Yeah, I mean, we all do it. We all want to do it.
I mean, everyone at the where I worked, though, they were not happy about it.
Yeah, people who are big into golf.
Not happy.
Yeah, there were some articles written that were pretty angry about Phil. People thought he should be disqualified from the tournament just because, I guess so. But
I guess it's technically cheating, but, he was...
It's a 2-stroke penalty, I think.
He was also, out completely... he's not going to come
Yeah,
back.
he was, 10 or 11 over, I think. So we'll see what happens there. Now we're going to move on to another sport we never talk about, soccer. The World Cup. We don't talk about soccer at all. But the World Cup, probably one of the biggest events going on this year. Thought we should do a little bit of coverage on it. And it's something where, you kind of watch it for 20 minutes and you think it's kind of cool, but, during commercials, you turn on, week 6 replay of Chargers-Broncos, and you think, you'd rather watch that than the FIFA World Cup. So, I don't know. I'm not big into soccer. I know Truman hates soccer.
No, I don't hate soccer. I think when it comes to, the athletes, they're the best athletes in the world. But I just can't sit there and watch it at all. And America's not in it, so I can give two shits who wins it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't know. I was, reading about why, the U.S. isn't as good. And I've, heard that, one of the big issues with the U.S. is, they don't have a good, after college, they don't have, anything. Baseball has, their...
Do you think if, we really concentrated on it and we got, our best athletes, like a Kyrie Irving, you think we'd be good to play soccer?
I think we'd be better. I don't know about Kyrie, but...
Because, I don't know. Well, not just Kyrie.
I just
okay, so the best athletes would be, LeBron. He wouldn't be good at soccer. But he wouldn't be good at
soccer.
But I feel dedicated his whole life to working on soccer.
Not LeBron. Maybe Odell.
Odell's, yeah. Odell's
he's good,
pretty
though.
good
I think
at
he was
soccer.
on, the 19... I don't know what team.
But then we take away from football, so...
Exactly, which is why nobody cares about soccer.
So who do you have in the World Cup, though?
Like I said, I don't care at all.
I can give.
I'm pretty sure one of the top.
I like Ronaldo.
I know
Portugal.
I know Germany and Brazil. They're up there.
Yeah.
I mean, Mexico just beat Germany, so.
Yeah.
Russia's probably going to win, though, because Putin's not going to let them lose
Yeah,
in their home court.
And they got some athletes over there.
But, you watch soccer for a little bit and you realize, football is the best sport in the world. And I don't understand why people over there, in those countries don't really like football over soccer.
I think it's because, soccer's so, in all, the other countries that are, may not have, the money, it's, it's all you need is a ball to play.
Yeah,
that's,
that's
a
true.
big thing.
Well,
football, you don't...
They
why
think,
it's so popular,
why do Americans like football over soccer?
It's so much more entertaining.
Because if you think about
no.
if you think about football, you need pads, you need helmet, it's a lot of money. But soccer, literally all you need is a ball, and you can just make a goal.
Yeah,
and that's
true.
why it's popular everywhere because there's nothing.
So that's probably, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later when it's the championship, but yeah, we don't really care about soccer. So we're gonna move now to a real sport, the NBA.
Wow, geez.
The draft is coming up on Thursday. We're not gonna make the same mistake we made last time with NFL, where we did our mock draft an hour before the NFL draft, the real draft. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do our mock draft now. We're only going to do top 15, so it's not the whole show, because, after really the top 15, there's some notable guys, but it doesn't really matter after the top 15. So we'll start. Johnny didn't make one, so it's just me and Truman right now. He'll throw in some little bit of information if he wants. But we'll start with the number one, the Suns. DeAndre Ayton, number one.
Ayton.
He's a franchise-changing talent. The Suns could really use an inside guy. Freak athlete.
7 foot, 260.
Can shoot. He's a beast. We'll go number two with the Kings. I think they take Bagley. Yeah.
Puma.
All around.
Yeah,
town.
he just signed a huge deal with Puma.
Yeah,
Mr.
Puma's trying to get I thought
I really don't understand that.
Trae Young is signing with them, and so then Jay-Z's doing their basketball operations. He said, yeah, he's recruiting. So that's pretty interesting actually. Puma's kind of a.
Well, they lost Julian Edelman, he's on the
steroids.
Yeah, they need a new one. They need a new one.
So we're going Bagley at number 2 with the Kings. He's an all-around talent. Number 3, I'm doing Jaren Jackson to the Hawks. He's one of the youngest players in the draft. He's really raw, got a lot of talent, got a high ceiling, low floor, I think, Jaren Jackson.
I got Luka Doncic. Whatever that last name is, I think it's Doncic. You're a big name guy,
Doncic. I don't know.
Doncic. He's the shooting guard, the guy who shot really high in the wherever he was in
EuroLeague.
Didn't he only average 14 points though?
He shot what was said to be 70% though. So I don't really understand.
I don't understand that league.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's said to be the best shooter in the draft. The Hawks need anything they can get. So I'm gonna go Luka Doncic.
I'm going Doncic at 4 to the Grizzlies. I think he's the most NBA ready player right now. He's pretty young. He was the youngest ever EuroLeague MVP. He scored 27 points against Porzingis when they played, so that's pretty impressive there. I don't really know why he's sliding. I guess it's Europe. You're not exactly sure he'll come if he doesn't like who he gets picked by. But Doncic's a really good player. I think he's a top 3 talent, obviously top 5. So Doncic, number 4 to the Grizzlies.
I got Jaren Jackson there. You said everything about him when you had him going to the Hawks. So the Grizzlies need a franchise. They're the Bengals of the NBA. They're the boringest team in the NBA. They don't have anything exciting about them. Conley, yeah, he's a good player. He's hurt 70 games out of the 82 game season. Marc Gasol, who's very good when healthy, but also very good but very boring because he's a superstar, but he's just not got that swagger to him. So the Grizzlies, they need a star, and Jaren Jackson, he's a great player. I think he's, a top 3 player in the draft, and I think the Grizzlies get him here.
Number 5, the Mavericks. I think they take Bamba from Texas. They've been looking for a center for a long time, DeAndre Jordan, that whole saga. I think Bamba is potential to be a superstar. He's another 7-footer who can shoot really well. He's just an all-around player, can guard any position on the court. This is the type of guy the Mavericks need to kind of get them back to championship form.
What's his wingspan? 7'6"?
It's big. That's all.
I think it's 7'6".
Is it?
I don't know. Something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's insane. He's huge.
I have the Mavericks taking Bamba too.
Yeah, they were really looking for that center. They've been looking for a center for a long time. Then 6, we have the Magic. I think they take Trae Young. I think Trae Young has the potential to be the highest bust potential player, I guess you could say. But they really need a point guard. They haven't had a point guard in a long time. I think his roof is very high. I think his floor is very low. So we'll see what happens. At best, I think he comes as Steph Curry. At worst, he's a backup point guard.
Ooh, wow.
At best,
Curry.
I don't think he will. I like I said on the last show, I think he's a high potential to be a bust.
I have Orlando taking Mikal Bridges for Villanova, the shooting guard. He's a good player. I think the Mavericks, it seems like, or not the Mavericks, over the Magic, they're another team. They seem like they take a guard every year, or like some guy that just might pan out, might not pan out, and then he end up not. Aaron Gordon, I don't know what he's going to do in free agency, but he's their franchise player, and I think they need to start surrounding talent around him. I think they start there, and I don't think they want to take the risk with Trae Young. But now you're kind of seeing on my board Trae Young kind of sliding.
Okay, so then we're moving to number 7, the Bulls. They take Michael Porter Jr., a guy who I think if he would have stayed healthy at Missouri would have went really far in the tournament, and he would have been a top 3 pick easily. With his health, that's scary, but the Bulls have really scouted him. They've been the team that's kind of really looked into him. I think they're happy with where he's at right now with his health, and I think he could be a really good player. The Bulls will be building a solid core if he pans out with him, and then the guy they had last year, who's that big guy?
Oh, you know.
Who?
Laurie.
Markkanen?
Markkanen,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Laurie Markkanen for
Mark-
Bulls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Markkanen, yeah.
So you put those two guys together, the Bulls could be building something there.
Yeah, for the Bulls, I'm going to go with Trae Young. I think they take best player available. Trae Young's got the ability. He's got that shot. He's a good player. They got Zach LaVine there, but you never know. He's a good player as well. But I think they take best player available and look at the ceiling. They got, Markkanen, who I like a lot, actually. So I think the Bulls are just going to try to take the best player available here, which is by far Trae Young.
Then we have the Cavs. This pick is going to depend a lot on where they kind of gauge LeBron's interest. This could be something. It'd be crazy if this gets packaged with something and they send it to San Antonio for Kawhi. I could see that happening before Thursday. But I think if they stay here at this pick, I think they take Colin Sexton, point guard out of Alabama. They really need a point guard. They haven't had a good point guard since Kyrie. And when LeBron left, Kyrie was kind of their savior. I think they kind of. I don't think Sexton's a Kyrie type of player, but I think they would really like to have somebody who can kind of hold the fort down until they rebuild that team back into a championship contender.
All right, LeBron's gone. Cavs are entering a rebuild. Michael Porter, I think, is going to be the pick here. They're just going to need. Michael Porter's another one who's got high potential, and he's got a low floor. So I'm going to take Michael Porter here, just because I think the Cavs want that high potential, and they got a team now without LeBron. Let's say LeBron leaves, that they can kind of let down a little bit and rebuild and maybe surround Michael Porter and give him a year or two to develop into the player that everyone thinks he can be. So I think the Cavs go Michael Porter here.
9, we have the Knicks. I think they take Wendell Carter out of Duke. He was that kind of second option behind Bagley, but he had a really good year, even though he was a second option. And I think the Knicks could use him because he'll be the second option behind Porzingis. And then you had Frank Nikolic, they took last year or whatever his last name is. You had that. That's a solid young core of players. With Porzingis, I think Wendell Carter could really thrive in that system.
I have Wendell Carter there too. At this point, Wendell Carter is the best player on my board, and I think he will be on the draft night. So I think that New York takes him. New York always likes to surprise people on draft night, so don't be surprised if they go somewhere else. But the safe pick here would be Wendell Carter. You could put him next to Porzingis, and that would be kind of a fearsome front court there.
10, we have the 76ers. I think they take Kevin Knox out of Kentucky. He's only 18 years old, one of the youngest players in the draft. He's got a really high upside. He's a solid wing player. I think the 76ers could really use somebody like him. Kind of another threat down low beside Embiid.
Yeah, Kevin Knox as well.
All right, we have 11. We have the Hornets. I think they take Mikal Bridges, another solid wing player. Pair him with Kemba if you don't trade him. 1-2 national championships. I think he's a really good player. He's a winner, and I think that's what the Hornets need.
I think they take Zari Smith. He's a shooting guard from Texas Tech. He's got good size. He's a great player. I think the Hornets kind of need just talent next to Kemba. They haven't been able to give him that for a while. Frank the Tank, one of my favorite players, he's going to be a good player in the NBA.